Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentlemen podcast for Friday, March 19th. It is the weekly wrap-up where we go over the news and entertainment and video games that jump out at us. Plus, we break down what we've been watching, what we've been playing. I am your host, Scott Labrie. Joined as always, I have Tyler Sunt here.
Hello.
Hello. I didn't give you your nickname.
No, where's the big cat?
You know what? I'm over nicknames. Nicknames
okay.
were so 2021 last week. I don't know.
Yesterday.
Yep. So yesterday, yeah. And we have Eric Deshane here as well.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Very good. Very good. Are you all ready to talk about the coolest news ever? I do kind of a lot of news stories this week. Actually, I was kind of surprised bringing them all up. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about what we've been watching this past week, what we've been playing. Anybody want to volunteer to go first?
Sure. I just finished season 2 of Avatar. Yeah, that was quite the climax at the end there.
Yes.
I thought the bad what's his name? I can't remember his name.
Zuko
was going to turn a new leaf. You know, his uncle got the tea shop. He was all good to go. Things were looking for the better. He was at war with himself, with gaining the respect back from his father and everything. And then he ended up being convinced or swayed or brainwashed, whatever you want to call it, by his evil sister. We're posing as those people that work for the Earth King.
The Tylee, the whatever.
Tylee,
yes, yep.
And the uncle pretty much sided with the Avatar, and I think he made the right choice. And that was it was pretty emotional. And the only way that Aang could save them was by becoming the Avatar. And then the evil sister there freaking did something and like shot lightning right through him. And I'm like, what? But the only way he could turn into the Avatar was to forget about Kara? No,
Katara.
Katara. Oh my god! Yes.
I don't know why. I literally was just watching the show. I don't know.
Watched 2 seasons of the show. I can't remember the main characters' names.
Yeah.
The bald kid with the water girl with the hoop hair. The one he likes. But he has to not like anymore in order to embody the Avatar, which is bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. So that was really good. I'm really looking forward to the next season and seeing how it ends because they're getting close. You know, the eclipse is coming, but now the sisters know about it too, and it's pretty exciting. So we finished watching that, and and we do you want me to just talk about what I watched and played?
Sure,
or
go for it, man.
And we wrapped our first playthrough of Detroit Become Human. I don't know why I didn't buy this game earlier. I fucking loved that game. Carly made some unwise choices and got one of the main characters killed in it, and it was actually kind of a finicky thing, but it was just kind of like a stupid little thing that you don't really notice, you don't really pay attention to, and whatever. The game is so particular and so so basically what happens is you're playing as this android Connor. He's an investigative detectives functioning robot is what he does. He helps detectives and other investigators because he's able to test blood samples right there on the spot and see fingerprints and DNA, all that stuff. He's able to see it because he's an android, right? He has all that functionality. And anyway, so he becomes basically what's happening in the story is that the androids are becoming deviants, which means that they're bypassing their parameters to follow orders from their owners, and becoming self-aware and wanting freedom and to do whatever they want, right? And have a life, and So Connor ends up becoming a deviant, which Carly chose for him. He was one of the last ones to become one because he was one of the new top models that can never become a deviant, has to follow orders no matter what moral dilemmas in front of them, whatever, right? So Carly managed to find a way to make him deviant and get him killed, but whatever. He was my favorite character. But the game was absolutely incredible. And the only reason why he got killed is because you're sneaking into Cyberlife basically at the end to awaken the whole entire factory and make all these 10,000 androids become self-aware and help fight for peace and their freedom against the humans that just want to kill them all, just think that they're just plastic toys is what they are. And have delusions of being human, right? So yeah, you're going in there, you take out these 2 guards and you scan, basically like before you do something, you scan the entire area and kind of go through your options on what you can do. So we forgot to scan the camera that was inside the elevator when you take out the 2 guards inside of it. So there's like a whole SWAT team waiting for you when you get down there. And then it's like, oh shit, do you want to shoot the guy on the left, right, and the middle on the far side? So it's like, okay, so then I then end up shooting like 2 or 3 of them, but then there's a sniper that you don't notice, and boom, that's it. And I was playing on hard, so you don't get to go back and try again.
Oh.
And Carly looks at me, I'm like, hey man, this is your fault, not mine. Because I play it for her, right? Like the action stuff, it's really intense. So like you gotta hit like circle and square and loop around and all that shit, right? So but I highly recommend that game. Like seriously recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. It's so immersive. Like even when you open up the first main menu, there's an android that greets you. He's like, hello, welcome to Detroit, become human. I'm your host, whatever, and this and that. And at the end of the game, she's like, become self-aware, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I have to leave you. Do I have your permission to leave? And you can say like yes or no, and it's like, man, she's gone if you let her go, and then that's it. It's like, man, this is so cool. So I highly recommend it. I'm in love. I give that game honestly like a 9.5 out of 10. One of the best story-driven games I have ever played, and I can't wait to play it my way because Carly was peaceful with everything, and I'm like, no, shoot the fucking guy, like shoot these people. They're shooting you. What are you doing? Like fight back. And then she's like, well, if I fight back, then I'm just as bad as them. I'm like, oh, you and I are so different. And the fact that you can be like that and make those kinds of choices, it's awesome.
See, it got mixed reviews. That's why I wasn't too interested in it, because I heard it was kind of mediocre. It wasn't the greatest thing. It wasn't too good, but okay.
Go with my review. It's the only one that matters. It's the best for me.
Fair enough.
No, it's incredible. I don't know. It's perfectly polished. The gameplay is great, and the character, like morals, everything are just top notch. It's so good, and the acting from every character that's in it is really good. Yeah,
good. Cool.
I love it.
Cool. There you go. Check it out. Detroit Become Human, releasing 4 years ago.
It was actually like 3 or 4 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy. Oh well. It's very
well,
good.
Eric, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, no, I'll go. This
right.
week I didn't watch a heck of a lot. I started watching an old show, Scrubs, again. I'm sure you guys are watching an old show.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
I'm like, I kind of itching to watch it. The one, I think it was like last Monday or Sunday. I'm like, oh, I'll see if it's on any of the platforms. It's on Disney Plus now, and started to watch that this week here and enjoying that a lot. So I think I'm on like season 2, halfway through season 2 right now, and enjoying that. But I also, after our documentary podcast released earlier this week here, my longtime friend and #1 fan of the show, Cameron, recommended some shows to watch. And I ended up watching, I tried watching all 3 of them, but I couldn't find which platforms they'd be on. But I ended up watching one of them called the Broad Street Bullies, which is about the Philadelphia Flyers hockey team back in the 70s. And it was a really good documentary to watch. It was a great recommendation by Cameron to check that one out, and I was really happy with it. So now open to watch the Dogtown and Z-Boys one and the King's Ransom. So try to find those and watch those when I can, because I always wanted to watch the Dogtown one. I never did get the chance to, so I'm hoping to watch it now and see if I like it.
Yeah, he gave me a couple too that I've been I have to get to eventually, but go ahead.
No, now it's pretty much it. And play a little bit of Red Dead and do some video editing, and just take it easy. Yeah, so
good old Red Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of Red Dead, that kind of inspired me to watch Godless on Netflix, which is a Western show. A mini series. I think it's seven episodes long, and they kind of vary in length. They go from like 45 minutes to like hour and 20-minute long episodes. And I was enjoying it up until the last episode. Yeah, like, I mean, it's slow, as all Westerns are. So if you've watch it and you're like, this is slow as hell, it's like, well, yeah, that's kind of the genre. And there's like some good parts along the way. Like every once in a while, you'll like just get Jeff Daniels, who plays the bad guy, just going crazy and just shoots the guy out of nowhere, and you're like, holy fuck, he just blew his head off, and like, it's like, and he's probably the best part of the whole thing. He's runs a gang of like 30 men, and he's constantly like acting like a preacher. He has like even the little kind of preacher tie thing around him and stuff, and he's always talking about the good book and all this other stuff. And yeah, it's pretty good up until the last episode where it gets to the final climax, the big shootout in the town and stuff. And like the shootout was fine, but then they're like, at one point the gang is gonna start burning the town down, so they throw a bunch of lanterns and gas on the buildings and set them on fire, and they use like the worst fake fire ever on them.
Why do people do that?
Yeah, it looks like a GIF, like honestly on there. And it's like, come on, man. Like if you were like directing this, it's like, why didn't you get proof? Like, what's the fire gonna look like? And then, you know, you see it, and then it's like, all right, let's not have them burn down the buildings and stuff. Or just like, you know, if even while editing, you could have just been like, let's cut the part where they set the buildings on fire, and then we just don't have to have the stupid shitty effects on.
Right, or it's in the background as they're leaving or something, and the place is on fire.
Yeah.
There's smoke or something. If you can't pull it off properly,
Yeah. So it's like, your climax, you kind of stumbled at the end there, and it kind of soured it a little bit for me and stuff. But yeah, Jeff Daniels was definitely like the highlight of it, where, you know, he's constantly like going around like having this kind of confidence where he's like, I've seen my death. This isn't my death. I'm not gonna die here, kind of thing. So he's like constantly doing shit that's crazy. So, and he's very, it's kind of crazy to think it's like that's the guy from Dumb and Dumber.
That's the one thing with him, right? Like he can play dramatic surprisingly well, but we always known him as from Dumb and Dumber, right? Harry, yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, because I liked him a lot in the newsroom.
Yes,
I thought that was a great show, and yeah, him too. It's like, yeah, that's the guy from Dumb and Dumber. He's somewhat, you know, learned, I guess you'd call it, or somewhat smart. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a crazy high IQ apparently. Like he's a very smart man.
Yeah, I saw an interview of him talking about that. Like he's just really well versed and knowledgeable and extremely smart. Yeah.
And do you know who else is in that show? The cowboy kid from Queen's Gambit.
Oh,
he's one of the deputies or whatever.
They probably used his outfit from that.
He's like, he just got off the set and walked over to the Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, exactly.
His name's Whitey.
Whitey?
Whitey, yeah.
Oh god, he's pasty or what?
I don't know. He's just kind of like a tool. He's like always like spinning his revolvers, but like he doesn't actually ever do anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the other thing I watched this week was Last Chance U Basketball, which is a documentary about a junior college, West LA, and like to kind of give it a brief breakdown. Essentially, is, you know, in college basketball, there's different levels. You have Division I, which is the top. That's like the March Madness stuff. Those guys will go into the NBA almost always. And then there's Division II, and then after, I think below that is junior college. So these junior college guys, a lot of times it's people who were in Division I, and either they flunked out of school, or like maybe they got too many injuries or something like that, and they essentially just got their scholarship revoked. So it's like those kind of guys trying to get back into Division I. Sometimes it's people who are like, there's this one guy named KJ who was just like super like athletic. He would have been in Division I, but like his high school marks were so bad that his transcripts weren't good enough. So they have to do 2 years of junior college to get an associate's degree to go into Division I. And yeah, it's kind of interesting. They had a bunch of different kids of like different backgrounds and stuff. There was like the main captain of the team. His like mom like just died of cancer like a year or two before, and like doesn't have his dad also died like years ago and stuff. So he's kind of just going through college and stuff by himself. And there was Joe, who was like a top 20 high school student and for sure going to be in the NBA, but he tore his ACL in his first year and then tore his something in his other knee than just the second year of college. So then he's like just trying to fight to get back into shape and stuff. And the coach is like the best part because he's just like a psychopath, but like you can tell he actually like cares about the kids. So he's like constantly pushing them, and he's like he wants every kid to get a scholarship and go to school. And it was all filmed last year, so you had one episode where it's like, oh, this is the Kobe Bryant just died, so like it goes through the kids, and they're all in LA, right? So it goes through them and all their emotions and stuff like that. And then these guys go on like a 25 win streak, and they're like 25-1. They're going for the state championship and stuff, and then COVID hits and cancels the playoffs and stuff like that. And you see like Joe, the guy who got both those injuries, and he was like a hothead at the start of the season where any small thing he would just like lose it, but like as the season progressed he was able to get like more and more centered, like mentally prepared, and then he's like crying at the end because he loves his team and stuff like that. It's just like, oh man, it got emotional at the end there with them just like not being able to finish out the right way.
Right.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I recommend that. It's a pretty good show. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Cool.
There you go. Well,
More
let's yeah, more documentaries, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know why I gotta watch them so much, but
Informative. I like them too.
yes.
I guess, yeah.
Well, let's move on to the news, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Square Enix had a little press conference thing today, where they showed off a couple stuff. First, they showed off Project Athia. They showed off a new trailer for it. It's a short little teaser. And they renamed it to Forspoken. This is kind of like an interesting thing. It seems like it's a girl who gets transported from the real world to this fantasy world, and like the visuals look so amazing on it. I'm like really curious to see how this is going to turn out.
Yeah, it looks like it's made for PS5.
It definitely looks like an actual next gen game, which is kind of cool. So hopefully we'll learn more about that. Maybe come June or so when we got most of the E3 stuff shown off.
If they do E3 at all, probably.
Well, I mean, they'll have like conferences anyways, just to...
Yeah, usually, more likely they'll have their own like specific business conferences, right? Sony can have their own,
right.
Microsoft have their own, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Marvel's Avengers one that came out on the PS5 today. They showed off kind of the roadmap, and Black Panther's going to be coming later this year, along with the War for Wakanda expansion. So
I am surprised that stuff's still getting content. I thought for sure
they're trying.
They're trying, yeah, more better than that EA did with Anthem, which I'm surprised. But I thought that'd be the same way as Anthem. But yeah,
I mean, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna try and really work and make a game like actually good, it's like you should probably make it the Avengers game, because
yeah,
you
that's
should not let that fail.
Absolutely, that's the one thing that's like excelled all expectations of being great, and you make a game about it and it's failing. Well, fix that probably, right? So
yeah.
Yes, and then they announced a new Life is Strange game is coming in September.
Ooh.
Life is Strange True Colors.
True Colors. I still have to play the second one. I love the first one.
I've never played that game before.
Oh, it's like Detroit Become Human. Same idea. You just make
very similar. And it's going to follow the story of Alex Chen, a young woman with the psychic power of empathy.
Okay. Sure.
Instead of rewinding time, she can, I guess, detect other people's emotions and stuff, and maybe we'll see what that happens. I don't know.
Oh
yeah, interesting.
There was a new trailer for Outriders, which is a 4-person co-op game from I forget what the studio is, but yeah, that kind of looks interesting. And they also announced that it's actually going to be coming out on Game Pass. So,
oh really?
Yes.
Wow, what's
the gist of that one?
It's like a 4-person kind of weird fantasy, but like also shooter kind of game.
It looks like Warframe. Have you ever seen Warframe? It's kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it looks, and that's that kind of stylized, very like sci-fi with fantasy mix kind of thing to it. So yeah, And yeah, it's like a 4-person co-op. Or yeah.
And then not too much else. They announced that the Tomb Raider trilogy is going to be coming to next gen consoles. That's about it. Just Cause Mobile. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. That was what was happening there. And yeah, speaking of Game Pass, they just added EA Play to the PC version today for no extra cost. So a bunch of games from EA you can play on there, 60 of them to be exact. So like Titanfall 2, there's Jedi Fallen Order on there, Star Wars Squadrons is on there, Battlefield, Madden. So yeah, 60 games. And yeah, $15 a month. So yeah, I don't know about you guys, but like I have Game Pass, and yeah, it's getting like more and more worth it. Now.
Yeah,
right.
Now, I think that'd be the way to go eventually, instead of having to buy each game, just have a Game Pass like that and pay an annual fee or
Especially when you think now, because they have the Bethesda on there too, right? So they're gonna be having all their games come there. So,
right.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I could see us. It'd be kind of cool. Maybe we can play. Be interesting to check out that Outriders game. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
sure.
one. Yeah.
More cooperative games.
Yep.
Or even Star Wars Squadrons would be cool too.
Yeah.
I'd be crashing into starships all day.
And here's one you guys can get excited about. Necromunda Hired Gun officially revealed for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Coming out on June 1st.
Tyler probably has no idea what the hell that is.
That's not Warhammer, is it?
That is Warhammer
40K.
40K.
Hive City. Yeah, you play in a Hive City and you're like these weird, and it's like a turn-based weird platform.
That's normally how it is, yes. But this one actually is like a first-person shooter version of it finally.
Yes. Oh.
And you
really?
And
it looks very Doom-like. I like it.
Yeah, you're a bounty hunter, I guess, and
cool.
You run real fast and shoot real fast and kill real fast. The trailer got me excited. I was like,
but again, a Warhammer 40K game. I'm not a Space Marine again. What the hell?
I know.
Well, one thing that they're known for, they still have yet to make a good game with it.
Nobody did, but that was on the Xbox 360. It was a long time ago.
It came out like 8 years ago.
Right.
No, it's the one thing that's kind of grinding my gears. Like, yeah, this game looks awesome. Like, well, why can't I be a Space Marine doing this, or be in the big power armor, running around just kicking ass? But no, I'm a human in this biker gang with spike armor and spiked hair running around instead. It's
What's that other 40K game that's supposed to be coming out soon?
Darktide.
Darktide, yeah, that too. It's
but you're playing as humans, though.
As humans in the guard, a human guard. It's like, oh, again, like it's very frustrating. As a 40K fan, it's annoying.
Right. Well, you can play as Space Marine on Deathwing.
The Terminator. That's another lore dump I want to go into.
So that's the one thing that is kind of interesting. It is the same studio that made that game, Deathwing, back in 2016. But
it looks faster and funner to play.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that looks fun.
Cool. Age of Empires 4 reveal coming next month. April 10th, Microsoft announced that they're going to be doing an Age of Empires fan preview event. Promises surprising reveals.
I'm surprised they're even still making these games.
Well, they announced that a long time ago, though, that they were making that one.
Like I could have sworn
2 years ago.
I could have sworn RTSs were dead at this point with most of those companies there, so that's surprising.
Yeah, but
I know, I agree. But
it's Age of Empires, right? You know, people will be like, "Oh, Age of Empires 4."
Their flagship one. It looks like, I'm looking at the trailer right now. It looks very much like Total War.
Oh
yeah, it looked very much large squads, and you would like it, Tyler, commander squad kind of thing. Formations.
Yeah.
So
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
Warhammer. Speaking of Warhammer 3 coming out too. Oh, I can't wait.
They're already out?
No.
Not yet. The trailer is out for it.
Well, they call it a new Warhammer game, but really it's just like a big expansion is all it is. Like Warhammer 1, then there's Warhammer 2, which is like the same map from Warhammer 1, but they just made another one on the same map. They just expanded that one and added more factions. And then Warhammer 3 is doing the same thing. This time they're throwing in all the demon gods and stuff. So
Chaos
And
God. Yeah.
Yeah, the Chaos Gods. Yeah, exactly. So, which is it's about time.
Darn right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
Mhm.
Yeah, great.
PlayStation buys Evo Championship Series fighting game tournament. This is kind of a shocker.
This was, I was surprised that. Okay, well, Sony or actually is just PlayStation bought it. Okay, that's what's surprising to me. Yeah.
So I guess this comes. They didn't have the tournament last year. Of course, it got canceled, and this year I don't think it's looking like it's going to be there either. Maybe they're doing some online version of it.
And then it says here focusing mostly online, starting in August. This it looks like here, so might be that way. But
yeah, and they also had some bad press last year about one of the founders who was accused of like sexual abuse and stuff like that. So I think this is probably like just PlayStation saving the tournament probably from going belly up, I would imagine, probably.
Just like keep it kind of like, what's the word I want to use for, not on the back burner, but like just saved for when we can to bring it back again, kind of thing.
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
Keep the license forward and save it up. Yeah, exactly.
Which is good because I mean, I'll watch a little bit of Evo like every year. It's kind of interesting just to see.
It depends on the game. Like I know when Dragon
Ball
Fighters came out, that was like a fun one to watch because the animation of that game is so fun to watch.
Yeah,
and just seeing the combos and everything else, especially with the finishes, it's entertaining that way. So
so usually I'll watch like the Smash Bros too, just because it's kind of interesting.
All that I get so envious watching because those guys are so good with their characters. Like I can't pull out those moves.
Yeah,
like, oh god, it's disgusting.
Could only dream. Like, yeah. And that's going to do for video game news. Let's move on to movies and TV. And this one dropped today because the Snyder Cut is out. You can watch it on Crave. Just a couple.
If you have the HBO.
If you have the HBO, yeah.
It's a long shitty part with that.
That's like an extra, what, $10, $15 on top of the Crave thing?
$15, I think it is. Yeah, $10, $15. Yeah. My bill's like $20 a month with that. So,
yeah.
And that got 77% fresh on Rotten Tomato with an average score of 6.8 out of 10 and a 57 on Metacritic. And but the thing that jumped out and caught my eye was that you have to watch it in 4:3 aspect ratio because that's how Zack Snyder intends you to see it.
What?
Yep. I started watching it. I'm like, wait, what's with my resolution? And it pops up and it says that like, it's meant to be in this aspect ratio. I'm like, you disgusting.
Any little inkling of wanting to possibly even just see if it's any good. Now just having that, it's like, I'm really not watching it. Like, get with the times, man. It's not 1996 watching tube TV. Come on.
That was the whole joke with that. I'm like, if I wanted to watch it in 4:3, I get the old TV out of the closet and watch it on there.
Yeah. Plug in my old Citizen.
Yeah. I got a 16:9 high definition TV. I want to watch it in 16:9. God damn it.
Exactly.
So,
whatever.
Yeah, whatever, Snyder. Just enjoy your ego stretch, I guess. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the reasoning behind it was he wanted to have it in IMAX format. Well, nobody has giant IMAX screens in the living room.
We all have IMAXs in the living rooms.
Yeah, but he said the reasoning was that in the comic books, panels are more vertical than they are horizontal. So you're constantly seeing like the heroes standing up and not
right.
I don't know. It was very strange reasoning, and
that's whatever.
Somebody made the joke that they should have released the Snyder Cut on Quibi.
Automatically got the right resolution there.
Yeah. So that's the same. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna bother watching it now, just because.
Oh, come on!
It's 4 hours and it's a 4:3 now. Like, oh man,
it is a time slot. I will give it that. It's a lot.
And plus, I just hate how he does his characters, anyways. Too, I just hate his Batman. You guys, to Batman and stuff.
You guys have to watch it. It's
Are you saying it's good?
No,
it's not perfect. I will say it's better than the original theatrical release. I will say that, but
I haven't seen yet because I had no use for it.
Oh yeah, well then you'd be fine for that. But it does kind of throw in a few sticks in the spokes of some other movies, like the Captain America, that Aquaman movie, and the Wonder Woman movie a little bit, but yeah, it's if it's meant to be the original release like that, then it all makes sense that way. But I don't know. It's a lot. 4 hours is a lot. I will say that.
That's the thing. It's like besides Batman, I really don't care about DC all that much. I don't know.
I prefer DC overall, and yeah, it's
I don't know what a mother box is, and I don't care.
the 77% rating. I don't know. I think that's pretty fair. I would say it's certified fresh, but like barely. Say this 70%, 80% would be pretty. That's a pretty fair assessment for it.
Yeah,
That's a lot better, but
it is very mediocre. Okay.
you guys still need to watch it though. I will say that because there's almost stuff I want to talk about with you guys, and hoping we can. So
I could fall asleep during it probably.
Yeah.
On to the next one. On to the better comic book series.
Here we go.
Marvel boss Kevin Feige denies Chris Evans will return as Captain America.
Mhm.
Yeah, right, Kevin Feige.
Yep.
You can't trick me, Kevin.
No, he's done with that.
I don't know.
Chris Evans is done with it. Unless he needs the money, he's done with that.
He'll go into like a flashback or something.
Cameo, he'll do something like that. Yes, a little snippet for a teaser for stuff like that. But to make another film like that, no, that's all done with.
He's just taking a break, all right? You know,
he wants to direct stuff, so he wants to.
Well, there you go. Maybe they're like, hey, you want to direct a Marvel movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe he wants to talk to animals too.
Yeah.
Captain America in the 1970s. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
He's got a fucking cool ass Mustang or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He'll be Dr. Doolittle. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. He'd be like, take after Robert Downey Jr.
2 Dr. Doolittles.
Expand my horizons. And be in these shitty fucking movies instead. Oh my god.
And there is a potential that we might see the man Hank Hill return to our screens. King of the Hill in Hot Negotiations, a revival series in Hot Negotiations, apparently.
Okay.
What do you guys think?
I like that show.
I was a huge fan of King of the Hill, so I hope they come back too.
Me too, yes. And especially to see it now, 'cause they kind of missed out on the whole internet culture.
Mm-hmm.
Hank Hill with his ways, I think that would be
ended in 2009.
Yeah, so just before the whole meme generation, and
right.
Yeah, I think now with the way things are now, it'd be a great time to have.
That's the thing too. Yeah, you think of like, you know, this woke culture, people say.
Yeah.
But you know, of course, Hank Hill is very much has conservative views, and we'll see how.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much, stuff that they can do with that kind of character these days.
Dale with his conspiracy ways and how he is now. Oh man, so much new material there. Yeah,
Dale for sure.
Yeah,
believes in QAnon for sure. Or he like believes in some other shadow.
He became a flat earther or something. Yeah,
yeah, he's like he believes in the organizations that behind QAnon or something like that. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty funny to see that come back. Speaking of animation, I'm gonna brutally get this name wrong, but Genndy Tartakovsky's
that's really good.
Star Wars Clone Wars is coming to Disney Plus in April. This was the guy who made Samurai Jack. He did a kind of short little mini series of the Clone Wars back before the Clone Wars. Before even I think episode 3 was out.
Yeah, he did it between movies 2 and 3. Yeah,
and it was fucking cool. And I wish they did more, but they never did. And yeah, so that's going to be coming to April. April 2nd.
Yeah, I think if you put them all together, it's like a 3-hour movie, pretty much start to finish. Like it's not very long, but it covers the whole thing, and it's very, very entertaining.
They have Mace Windu look like an absolute badass. Yes, I can't wait to rewatch these.
Short apart, bolt by bolt. It's a pretty sweet scene.
Yes. You ever seen them, Tyler?
No, I have not.
You'll have to check them out.
Yeah.
I will certainly check it out.
the clone trooper scenes where there's not a word is said, but they're just action and tank commands. Oh,
Mhm.
it's such a cool scene. Yeah.
It's very stylized. It's kind of cool.
Mm.
This is a story just for me, and I got super excited about it. Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie is set to be released in theaters in April in North America, where you can go see it in theaters. Who knows? But the better part of it is that it's coming to streaming services on June 22nd. And I'm super excited about this. Demon Slayer, one of my favorite animes of last year. And they did a cool thing where usually when an anime hits, they'll do like a movie, of course, and usually the movie's just like filler garbage, doesn't connect
Yeah,
at
it's not
all.
canon. It's just yeah.
Yeah, but the thing with this one was that like the next arc in the story was actually like going to be pretty short, so that they're like, well, let's just make the next arc into the movie. So it's actually canonical.
Canonical. Yeah.
And yeah, so it's like I need to know what happens next. I need to know. So
Yeah, they went the same way as like Dragon Ball Z with the movies lately, which is
Yes.
great because now all their movies are canon now too, which is awesome.
yes,
Yeah.
Very
Change the story. Yeah.
yeah. So that's gonna do it there. I think.
I still have to watch that show though. I'm everyone says it's really good, but I don't know. I'm not in the desire to see any new anime really. But yeah.
so fantastic. It is like they do really great things with 2D animations in 3D environments that like I haven't seen. Like it's comparative to like when you're watching Attack on Titan and they're like zipping and flying through the city and stuff. They have the hand drawn stuff on top, but they have the 3D environment and the camera's like panning behind them to make it like sell the animation even harder. And they do that a lot too. There's like a straight up awesome like Inception fight where like a room it like keeps like turning and like stuff like that, and he's like falling and stuff, and it's really cool. So we're gonna do a reaction series on that because
all right.
yes, I want to see you guys see this show.
No, yeah.
Cool. Any other news stories that jumped out to you guys or no?
Nothing comes to mind at the moment. No.
They better not delay Black Widow. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's official release date now, right? So.
Well, today I believe, or yeah,
yesterday it was.
Yesterday they were talking about last minute choices on whether they're going to do it or not.
I
haven't read or seen
the same CEO who said that it is definitely coming out in theaters.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just kidding. It might not be.
Well,
maybe. But yeah, for sure it will be. Who knows?
There is a new game coming in. It's a 4-person squad-based game called Dungeons and Dragons: Dark Alliance. It looks very much like Vermintide, but it's third-person action instead. You see them fighting like beholders and giants and stuff like that, dragons. I'm like, this would be a fun game for us to play. And the trailer's pretty sweet looking too. So
yeah,
you pick a class and go on to missions, and yeah, I think we'd like that. And I'm a huge D&D fan, so saw that right away. I'm like, ooh, I want to play this. So yeah,
cool. And last trailer that I saw, there's actually an Aliens game coming out. Fire Team, it's called, where you have a team of 3 and you go to the initial planet that Ripley was on in the first and second movie. And you're going in there and you're clearing out like hives and stuff. And yeah, one guy's like a heavy gunner, one's like a marksman expert, and then the other one's like melee too. I don't know how the melee is really going to work if the blood of the aliens is acid. So I don't know how that's going to do, but it's basically it's like Vermintide, same idea. They just come in waves, like waves and waves of aliens.
See, that made me now realize that we need like even if it's one of those like, what do you call it, the odd person game where one guy it's a 4 versus 1, like a team of 4 versus like an alien. Like that's the kind of game we need. I'm like, that'd be so cool to play that.
Oh yeah,
I forgot what the term is called.
Something like that.
Yeah, I forgot what the term is called when those kind of games, like the Dead by Daylight kind of games, where it's like the one person
survival horror kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's the five person gaming 4 versus 1 style. But yeah, like 4 people versus the one monster, and we're just like, to have an alien version of that, that'd be pretty sweet. Crawling through vents and sneaking around and
scuttling the ship while everyone else is trying to repair the ship to get off, or get the escape pods working or something, while the aliens just
like Among Us with aliens. Yeah,
that would be sweet. That would be fun.
Asymmetrical multiplayer.
That's it. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, there you go. I'll say that twice for some reason.
There you go.
There you go.
There
I'll say
you-
it too. Yeah.
That's asymmetrical talking.
That's right.
All right, that's going to do it for today's podcast. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share with your friends. Do that on all the platforms, Google, Apple, Spotify, Tin Can Radio, whatever you're listening on, I don't know. And yeah, like us on Facebook, of course. If you ever want to ask us questions for Ask Us Anything Mondays, you can do that there. And yeah, that's going to do it. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.